Hello. Hello. Ooh, fixing hair, fixing hair. Thank you guys. Thank you for showing up. Thank you for showing up for an event where I am sure to ask you to do something that you don't want to do. Right? Because that's what makes being a nutritionist so attractive, is I'm always asking something to do, something they don't want to do. Right, so before I jumped on this live call, I did something really stupid. I decided it was time to start some French onion soup. So I, with my makeup on, because I was going to be on camera doing a live, decided to cut up 5 large onions and put them in a pot. So eyes watering and streaming. So hopefully that is okay. My eyes feel very puffy right now. So what I want to share with you guys today is really, we're doing a blood sugar boot camp this month. And this is the first week of it. And I want this first week to be something that we just do live on my Facebook group together. You don't have to join anything this week. You can just do it along with us. And if you're interested, you can join the rest of it. But otherwise, you know, I personally find that during the holidays, I eat a lot of chocolate because I have it in the house, and I have gifts that I've given people that I've saved some back, and other people have given me treats. We just have a lot of treats. And I like it that way. I like it that way. I like that the way I eat the rest of the year means that I can have a holiday season of chocolate in my house after every meal. And that's fine and that's good. But it usually does mean that in January, it is time to, yeah, in January, it's time. Can you guys hear me okay? I think I have my things on. Yeah, I'm good. So, but in January, I kind of need to reset things because, you know, eating sugar is such a habit, and really all that needs to happen is I have to undo the habit. But that takes some doing because of the addictive nature of sugar. So let me back up and tell you a little bit about this blood sugar boot camp and how this week fits into it. You guys know I'm just a blood sugar fiend. I'm a little maniacal when it comes to blood sugar and even the numbers. You know, you've been watching, I've been wearing a continuous glucose monitor and supporting my clients wearing one. And doing that, not only have I sort of dialed my own in and helped other people, but we have learned so much. We've learned so much about how to hack our own systems. And what I mean by hacking our own systems is, of course, we know how to get your blood sugar really dialed in. You don't eat that many carbohydrates, and the ones you eat are whole foods, and you eat a balanced diet, and you exercise, blah, blah, and you sleep well, and all those things. Hacking the system means you learn how to have some of the stuff that you want to have and hack it into your system without negatively affecting your blood sugar. Like, of course, if you stop eating chocolate, 100% it's going to improve your blood sugar. Of course, if you don't go to Taco Bell for lunch, it's going to be good for your blood sugar. But is there a way that we can still have some of the things we want and do some of the things we want to do and still have good, well-regulated blood sugar? That is what we're learning, and that's some of the stuff that I want to share with you this month. Not just general things, very specific things that have the biggest bang for their buck. I want you to do the things that are the easiest things to do that have the biggest impact on your health, right? That's what we want. And of course, using the continuous glucose monitor, that helps us dial it in very specifically to us. But there's still some things that we've learned that I have found are good for everybody. And so that's what I'm going to share with you. So there's a link in, let's see if I can put it into the comments. I just put a link into the comments, and it is a Google Drive document, and it's the handout called Cut the Sugar, right? And basically what this is, I'm actually going to pull it up on my computer so I can read it. because I haven't worked out the whole screen sharing on a Facebook Live and going back and forth. That always goes terribly wrong for me, so I'm not even going to try. But because sugar is so addictive, taking it out is very hard. And the reason is eating sugar makes you want more sugar. Eating sugar makes you want to have more sugar. And there are ways that we can find that middle path where we get to have some sugar. But it can be really helpful to just get off of it for even a couple of days to sort of reset your habits, reset your tastes, and get back to your pre-holiday level. Why are we doing the hardest thing first? Because this is kind of the hardest thing first. And it's because the sugar's so addictive, and because all those holiday treats and things are in the house and they're in your habits right now, they're going to derail you. And so putting some attention on it this week is going to make the rest of the month so much easier. And it's going to give you a big win. Like if you follow me today and do this along with me, and I'll just be putting out just little tips. Here we are on Tuesday, and this is where we are on Wednesday and Thursday. If you just follow along with the little things we're doing this week, you're going to have a win on Saturday. You're going to feel better. Because getting a blood sugar down, getting the sugar out, oh my gosh, it's going to improve your sleep, your energy, your digestion, your pain, because it reduces inflammation, and it's going to help you start losing the weight that you put on over Christmas. Because you did, I did, everybody did, on top of the COVID weight. Anyways, we're going to cut the sugar, and so where is the sugar is the big thing. And if you open that now while you're watching this, you'll see that I put down I cast a pretty wide net about what sugar is and where it is. And that's because when we're using our continuous glucose monitors, I am seeing people get a huge glucose spike from surprising sources. And so while I wouldn't normally say, cut that milk out of your coffee and not even the half and half, I normally wouldn't do that because, the lactose, little natural milk sugar, that won't hurt. It hurts. It hurts a lot. And, but the good thing is in this handout, I've given you some substitutions that I think are really good, that I really like, that my group and I have practiced and we have tried and work really well at stabilizing our blood sugar, giving us more energy, and still feeling and tasting good. So the other one is dried fruit. Dried fruit, my friends, is the devil on the blood sugar. A handful of raisins, I might as well have just had a Mountain Dew, right? It's unfortunate. But again, we have some hacks so we can put this stuff back in. But I'm not going to discuss the hacks this week, one thing at a time. Let's just start adjusting our taste to slightly less sugar. I've also included fruit yogurt. And you're like, oh, fruit yogurt, but that's my lunch. Honey, no fruit yogurt for lunch. Fruit yogurt has as much sugar as a Snickers bar. Fruit yogurt has as much sugar as a Snickers bar. We're not doing fruit yogurt anymore. It's dessert. It's dessert. So I'm going to ask you to, by Saturday, to get those things out. We're just doing one thing at a time. But I really want to expand your mind about what the sugar is out there that is spiking your blood glucose, making you feel worse, making you gain weight, sapping your energy, keeping you awake at night, and those kinds of things. Now, there's going to be a schedule to this. And the schedule is on page 5 of the ebook that I've included here. So I want you to open that. And on page 5, I call it, I'm reading over here, stepping down the sugar. Because you don't need to do it all at once. I mean, you can. And there's some of us that really prefer just cutting it out all at one time. And there's some merit to that. Because eating sugar makes you want more sugar, sometimes it's just easier to cut all of it out at once. And then, like if you did that today, by Wednesday, it's going to be a lot easier. So by Friday, your cravings are going to be right down. So you can do that if you want to. But I find, at least mentally for me, if someone told me we're just going to cut all sugar out today, I would say, end live broadcast. I wouldn't even listen. I wouldn't engage. I wouldn't do it. It is not a goal. It's not a SMART goal for me. A SMART goal, as in all the SMART goals you hear about in school, would be to just do one manageable thing at a time that sounds like, okay, I can do that. And then the next day, okay, I can do that. It's just one manageable thing at a time. So the first thing that I'm gonna ask you to do, not that you're going to do, I hope you're going to do it, because I'm gonna do it, is get rid of the low-hanging fruit. And by low-hanging fruit, I mean, let's not eat the chocolate, the cookies, the stuff that's still laying around from the holidays, and just take a dessert break this week. Just take a dessert break this week. I'm not saying you can never have another dessert. I'm saying this week, let's stop the desserts and sweet treats. That's it. That's today. Can you do that? I'm not attacking your coffee or what you're putting in your coffee. I'm just saying the candy and the cookies and the dessert. That's today. Because that's a habit thing. That's a habit thing. So when I say that, I want you to think about this. Because this is the hard time of the day. And I was just talking with a client today who nailed it. She said, I noticed that her blood sugar, because she's wearing a CGM, and I can see her data from the last month on my screen when I'm talking to her. And I said, wow, your blood sugar levels have really come down. Like your overnights are nice and low. You're waking up at a much lower fasting level. And she's really making it happen. And I said, wow, what are you doing that's different? What's working? And she said, well, for one thing, not drinking as much. But really what makes the big difference to her is not snacking on sweets at night. Not snacking on sweets at night. And I said, is that hard for you? And she said, well, I wouldn't say it's hard. She said, it's a habit, right? It's a habit. I'm just used to it. And I have this, I want something sweet. So the way I like to think about this habit, and because I'm the same way, when I'm done eating and I do the dishes, I'm like, now I'm ready for the sweet taste in my mouth. I'm ready for the chocolate. We still have probably a handful of Lindor truffles in the house. Don't know what I'm going to do about that. Maybe I can do something with them, like just get the rest of my family to eat them. Because today it's going to start. I'd like you to think of those after dinner, after meal cravings for sweets as cravings. And in the Buddhist world, we talk about cravings as just we watch them and we note them, and we say, oh look, there's a craving. Wow, there's a craving. I'm walking around the kitchen and I have a craving. And we watch it because those cravings reliably change and they go away, right? But are you patient enough to sit there and watch it while it goes away and see it for what it is? A cloud. Now, your wind might be blowing more slowly or more quickly. So I don't know if your cloud of cravings is going to go away quickly or slowly, but it's worth being curious and just watching it and calling it what it is. Oh, look, there's a craving. Instead of, oh my God, I want some chocolate. Oh, I want chocolate. I can't do it this week. A whole week without chocolate. Don't do that to yourself. You can have that chocolate again. All you're doing is giving yourself a little reset. And all you're doing is today. Today, not going to have the extra low-hanging fruit. That's it. And I know it's 3 o'clock and you might have already had some low-hanging fruit after lunch, but how about you just start right now and not worry about it? That's a low-hanging fruit. So that's today, and I'm going to be talking about this more this week, but the next day is going to be sweet drinks, because if there's one thing that we have learned in the nutrition world about sweet drinks is the absolute worst way that you can put sugar in your body is in a beverage, because of the speed with which it enters the body. Oh my goodness, especially fructose. Talk about fatty liver disease, right? And uric acid levels and ramping up your uric acid levels. So we're going to address those the next day. See, it's just one thing at a time. But remember, part of sweet drinks, milk. Milk and half. That stuff spikes your blood sugar. And then we're going to talk about breakfast and taking the sweets out of your breakfast. And for some of you, you're already doing this. So some of you might get a free day of, I don't have to do anything new. I'm already doing this. And then we'll address the evening sweets, because the evening sweets are really key to an overnight fasting state. And that's where the big craving things will come in. And then the very last thing is I'm going to ask you to go 2 days in a row with 0 sugar. 2 days in a row. And some of you like, well, that doesn't sound very hard. And for those of you who are going to go cold turkey first thing, no problem. And yeah, that's it. But when you print out this PDF, I'm going to give you a nice list of hot drinks, because this time of year, it's all about the hot drinks. And so often after a meal, a good hot drink will keep you there. It really works. Actually, that's one of my hacks. And actually, here's one of my hot drinks over here. One of my favorite hacks for warding off a craving for sweets after a meal is a good hot drink. And this is like a roasted chick. I like roasted chicory. It's called Pero. In the UK, they have Barley Cup. You can get a great product called Sip, which is a caffeine-free, roasted chicory, gluten-free product. That's good. And you can also do that mud water product. It comes with caffeine and without caffeine. I love that product, and I recommend that here. But really use those hot drinks as a substitute, and I've given you some ideas of substitutions for what you might be drinking that might be spiking your blood sugar. And I've also given you some idea for cold drinks and staying hydrated, because drinks are where it's at. Yeah, for the after dinner sweets, the other hack that I love after meals, when I know I've been craving a lot of sugar, is I brush my teeth after meals. So not only does it give me fresh breath, but it also means my cravings for sweets just take a nosedive. That's one of my favorites, is that, or you chewing gum or something like that. So I'm not saying don't eat. I'm not saying restrict your calories. I never say restrict your calories. Just today, do that. And then I want to remind you that the rest of the month, and this is completely new, I have started this year doing a membership program. I need 2 hands for this. So last year I was running my Nourish Your Roots program, which is an 8-week program, and the participants told me that the content was great, but it was too much all at once. And what I realized was it would be better to just do one little bit of information, spread it over a month, and do things like this, where we actually took action on it together. Because when I take classes, like I'm taking a class right now from my friend Gwen, who's teaching us how to make TikToks and Reels. And she's doing it so slowly. Like we get on a live and we learn how to push the buttons. That's what I need. That's the level, that's the speed I need to go in a course. So I'm going to do these membership programs at the speed Gwen is doing her TikTok and Reel class. I'm going to teach you how to push buttons. Yeah, that is how slow we're going to go. Because let's face it, I think all this is cool and fun. I like to learn about it and implement it. Right now I'm looking into heart rate monitors and zone 2 training to regulate blood sugar. And in my free time, I like to use continuous blood glucose monitors and Oura rings. But you guys don't. You have different awesomeness. And so I want to make sure that you have all of your time and attention for all of your awesome. And I'm just going to drip feed just what you need to learn and do and help you do it in January. And then in February, I'm going to put another piece in. So it's just going to be easy for you to take in like a 15-minute thing. You're going to have a list and you're going to implement it and try it, make it work for you. So that by the end of the year, you will have done these things. You will have done a, really simple, maybe a detox once. You've learned how to do basic, time-restricted feeding or intermittent fasting. And I'll tell you exactly how to do it. But the thing that I've actually included in this is there's going to be live group coaching classes offered every week. So that as part of this membership, you can opt in and get, well, sometimes if no one else signs up, one-on-one consulting with me, so that we can go over your glucose monitor data. We can go over your diet journal. I can answer your questions and say, well, let's brainstorm your breakfast. You need a protein powder? Let's see what's right for you. You know what I mean? And if you're on with other people, you also get to hear the answers to their questions, which is probably going to be your question later anyways. Really? You know what I mean? I'm really excited about this. So I have a coupon code that I've included here that gives you 50% off the first month in January. So this course is going to be $127 a month, where you get, all the content and stuff, and then access to group coaching calls. I'm going to put more coupons in my newsletter later, but today it's just 50% off this month because I really want you to join in and try it. And there's still room in my CGM class at the end of the month if you want to join that. Okay, I think that's all I have to say. I just needed you for 20 minutes. And my kids are home and my dog's excited. So I'm going to go cut out that low-hanging fruit, print out or download that handout on Cut the Sugar, and have a look and just follow along with us. And do try out some of those suggestions for hot drinks and cold drinks to try to get your sugar down. And then come over to my private Facebook group, because this week I'm going to go live on it every day and take you through the next bit like I did today. And I'll take questions and see what you guys have to say. Okay? Thank you for joining me, and have a Happy New Year.